Am I the a-hole for tricking my ex to break up with his girlfriend while she planned her mother's funeral? I don't know, that sounds a bit crazy to me. Buckle your seatbelts. We have a long list of good stories. I know this title is bad, but hear me out. It's a long one and may be all over the place, so bear with me. Peachy. I, 39 female, was with my ex-fiance, 47 male, for almost 10 years. About 8.5 years in, we found out we were pregnant. This being after we gave up on having kids around 5 years in and decided being child-free was the way to go. Needless to say, my child was the love I never thought I needed, and I fell in love with my ex on a completely different level. Then what happened? Right after our child turned 1, we decided that we would sell my house so we could buy in a better community. My ex-fiance would start working shift work out of town. Well, as the old story goes, my ex started acting off about 4.5 months in. He would miss our nightly FaceTime calls and even our morning ones. I tried to ask what was going on, but he would say that they were working late and started early mornings. I knew this was a lie, as he told me beforehand that there are scheduled buses and times for shifts, and working past their allowed time was not something they would ever be able to do. However, I had never not trusted him, so I dropped it. I don't think you should have dropped it, girl. I was only back at work for about 5 months at this time, plus taking care of our child. All the responsibilities of raising a child, full-time work, 2 large dogs, and house duties was all on me. That does sound like a lot, which I was okay doing, as the bigger goal was a better home and community for our child. One day, after missing our scheduled family FaceTimes for the 6th time in a row, I broke down crying, asking him what was going on and what was he doing. He started saying that he didn't know what he wanted anymore. Excuse me? And the fact that I quit my over 7-year steady job, leave my support system, family, everything I had ever known, and move 8 hours away to live there, that was never the plan. You're asking a lot here, sir. I don't know. Yeah, no. To say I was absolutely devastated would be an understatement. I spent the last week until his shift was done crying myself to sleep, still having to maintain my duties with a smile on my face, as women have to do often. Not that you should have to, but I don't know. Men, right? I'm joking. The night before he was due to come home and not speak to me, leaving me hanging, he said he wanted it to be over and he wouldn't be coming home for another few days. I still remember the pain of walking back into the house and falling to my knees crying from such emotional pain. My mom had to watch her daughter literally break with all these halves, like everything is a half in this story. Okay, with my 1.5-year-old child right there. I went to my room and screamed in my pillow until I passed out. It's extreme. Oh my gosh. He finally came home and he wasn't the man I fell in love with anymore. He was cold and so mean. What happened? We lost the plot. What happened to the title of the story? We'll have a couple paragraphs left. I don't know. What was I at? I asked if there was someone else and he swore with everything that this had nothing to do with anyone. He didn't even like anyone there. I begged him to not leave, was willing to up and move, but he said no. I asked how he could do this as we had a child, and he looked me in the face and said we were never supposed to have a child. I need a flag. Where's the red flag? Red flag. I wish I could explain the pain, but there will never be words. Long story short, he packed his bags and drove away. A moment of silence for the woman. Cause what happened? He swears there wasn't anybody. So what happened on the trip that made you think I didn't even want a kid with her? Like, what? I cried hard all the time. I was so broken, and he took a piece of not only myself, but a piece of me being a mom. Yeah. Suddenly I was alone with 2 dogs, a 1.5-year-old, and a house that was just sold and nowhere to go. Y'all sold the house? Where y'all gonna live? What was the plan? Friends and family asked if I thought he was cheating, but I defended him and thought no way he could do that. I believed in him so hard that I actually started to believe that it was me and it was my fault. I did something wrong. No, girl, you did nothing wrong. It's him. You're not the problem. At least right now. In this backstory, because I don't know about the ex. I mean, not the ex, the girlfriend. The night after he left, I did something I had never done before. I checked his Facebook messages, and that's where it was. He's a liar. He said I wasn't cheating. I swear to you. What? He was cheating with a girl that worked on his crew, but you didn't like nobody. You didn't like nobody there. I had to text him emergency because he wouldn't answer my calls. Told me he was leaving early because he had a counseling, cannot read, appointment to try and figure it out. Turns out he left early because he was surprising his mistress with a party. Once confronted, he begged me not to reach out to the girl and make matters worse, and he was so sorry he would come home. Stupidly, I was just happy to say he was coming home and waited for him. Turns out it was a lie. I mean, yeah, why would you believe anything that he says? Where was I at? Turns out it was all a lie to keep me from reaching out to her, and after he talked with her, he told me, I'm not coming back to you, I just want to talk to her before you. It sounds like he broke your heart. Now you're getting back at him by making him break up with his girlfriend. It's a revenge story. So maybe you're not the a-hole. I don't know. I ended up calling her to find out they had a full-blown relationship for months. She knew about me and knew we had a child, but fell for him hard. I begged her to please stay away and let us figure it out. She says she owes me nothing, and they decided together it was best for him to not see our child for 6 months so he can show his dedication to her. You willing to leave your child for 6 months for a woman? We've been together for 10 years, right? He's indeed. He agreed to come back for 1 dog. As renting with even 1 dog was hard, never mind 2. He came and got 1 dog to turn around and surrender him to a rescue. He turned into such a monster. He kept telling me he was coming back to us, and every time I would say okay. I just wanted my family back, just for him to flip the switch and say nope, not coming. Your problem is that you're believing him. He's not the same guy that he was. I mean, you've been with him for 10 years though, but still he keeps lying to you. Stop believing him. Block it. Fast forward 5 months from that, after much counseling and moving in with a family member, 2 adults, 4 kids, and their dog, my dog, and a cat in a 3-bedroom house. I finally learned to be happy and the pain wasn't consuming anymore. He FaceTimed my child and said to me, "You seem happy and good now. I miss you." The texts and calls begging me started, but I was done and over him. I hope so. I had what they call the post-breakup glow. Period, girl. Okay. I lost a bunch of weight and was working out a lot. Good for you. Now this is where I might be the a-hole. After about 2 weeks of him begging to have me back, the mistress's mom passed away and they had to drive to another city to start the funeral process. I felt nothing for the situation, the same way she felt nothing for aiding and destroying an almost 10-year relationship and a family. The audacity to cheat, lie, steal, all that. Well, I don't know, but you know, once a cheater, steal, whatever. To just be begging to have me back. You still with the mistress. Do you really want me back though? This man is a red flag. My ex was calling me from the parking lot of the funeral home as the mistress was inside planning, saying all he could think about is me. He said he was willing to come home this second if I said yes. So I did. He packed his bag that day and got on a flight, leaving his girlfriend behind. Once he landed, he asked me where I was. I told him exactly what he told me so many times. Nope, not coming. So am I the a-hole? And she put in parentheses, probably. Girl, no, you're not. You a boss. I'm not gonna say the B word, but you a boss AB. The title had me a little bit, huh? This man is terrible. 10-year relationship and he just flips a switch out of nowhere? First off, he was gonna move you out there with nothing but your job, no support system, all the stuff you were saying, to just dump you? I'm sorry, girl, but you a G. You got the after breakup glow, whatever. Love it for you. Keep winning in life. I'm rooting for you. This man is a terrible man. This isn't an Am I the A-hole story, but it's still a Reddit story, so let's read it. Discovered my husband's secret while I was making our wedding thank you note. Please don't tell me he cheated. I don't need another cheated story. Throw away because my family knows my real account. I, 31 female, just married my husband, 31 male, a little over a month ago, and I just found out something in his computer that is rattling me to my core. Okay, it's not cheating, because rattling me to my core, that's not like, oh my gosh, he's been cheating on me. I don't think. For backstory, we had been together for almost 8 years. Around year 4, he had admitted to flirting and kissing a female coworker. The guilt was eating him up and he decided to come clean to me. Even though I was grateful that he owned up to it, it completely obliterated the trust I once had. When I had questioned him about the girl, he had answered me by saying she was no longer in the picture because she had moved into a different state. Was it just like a one-time thing? Flirting wouldn't be a one-time thing. When did that happen and how long it took him? I mean, whatever. Where was I? He never gave me any more information about her other than that. I asked what she looked like, her name, etc., and he would always tell me that it didn't matter because he never talked to her again. After quite a few months of being distant, I decided to resume the relationship with him. I let him know that my trust was completely gone, so it was going to take some time for him to earn it back. Okay? And he said he understood, and we continued on with our relationship. That summer, he had an internship in a very popular national park, so we spent our first few months of getting back together doing long distance. Once he returned, it felt like we were back to normal. Okay? Tell me he cheated on the trip. Fast forward to last year, some old friends of his got married and we attended the wedding. Everything was going great until he introduced me to some old co-workers who were standing in a group huddle. As he was introducing me to them one by one, there was one girl who wouldn't introduce herself and tried her best to look away. To her dismay, one of the other former co-workers introduced her to me. I smiled politely and said, "Nice to meet you," and she looked at me like she was about to throw up. It has been more than flirting and kissing for her to have this reaction. About this time, the person who had introduced introduced us mentions that she used to work with them until she moved out of state. I mean, I done already connected the dots, girl. Catch up. It was in that moment I knew exactly who she was. It was one of those deep gut feelings. The rest of the night I could feel her staring me down but yet avoiding me at the same time. The bride eventually came up to me while we were in earshot of the other girl, and she kept talking about how pathetic homewreckers are and kept complimenting my appearance. She was very drunk. I love that for the bride though. It was obvious she was doing it for my benefit, and it definitely made the girl uncomfortable to the point that she left. I figured the bride must have witnessed the cheating back in the day. I didn't know the bride that well, but she was a total girl's girl. We love the bride for this. I had never mentioned any of this to my husband. It didn't feel necessary because it's been a few years since the incident, and there were no signs that anything else ever happened. I don't know. Me personally, I probably would have said something, because for it to just be kissing and flirting, her reacting like that, almost throwing up, staring you down, it had to be way more than that. So here I am tonight, downloading pictures from our photographer and drafting up our thank you card. My laptop stopped working a few months ago, so I'm using his. I saved the wedding photos to a folder. When I go to reopen it, I see another photo titled Friends. I'm not sure why, but I clicked on it. The first picture I see is a blonde girl sitting in his kayak on a lake that looks really familiar. What did I say? It's the national park where he spent his internship, and it's time stamped from that time. I look at the girl and it's her. What the F? I kept clicking through the pictures. I saw more pictures of her kayaking, fishing, hiking, and camping. I remember him sending me almost identical pictures of him from the same time. She must have taken them. Reflecting on my memories from that summer, I remember one particular week where he said that he had some friends coming to visit him. I didn't hear from him much that week and just figured he was busy with them. He told me that they kept kayaking, fishing, hiking, and camping. I had asked him which friends, and he said they were just some old friends from college. I never pressed him on it because I didn't feel the need. Girl, I mean, I'm saying all this right now because I'm reading the story, but to be honest, if I was in that predicament, I don't know if I would like connect the dots like that. I would have definitely connected the dots at the wedding, but stuff like this, I don't know if I would be suspicious. Guys, what the heck do I do? He's currently in bed sleeping, and I'm in our living room bawling my eyes out because he has kept this from me for years. I was wondering if I should even stay with him now, because what else has he lied about? The scariest part is that if we never went to that wedding, I would have never figured out who she was. So he could have easily lied about this girl's pictures. That's a heavy one. I mean, why are you asking me? Talk to him. That was a little rude. I'm sorry, let me soften it up. You need to talk to him, girl. Was it just her in the pictures, or was it her and like all their other friends as well? 2, did like anything else happen besides them just hanging out, going hiking, kayak, whatever? Because he may have just felt like, okay, there's no need to bring it up because this is a girl I, kissed or whatever. It's not good either way, but we need to figure out what exactly happened all those years ago, because he already knows your trust for him is zeroed out. So I can see why he kept it, but either way, just because I understand doesn't mean it's right. I just want to make that clear. We have an update, guys. I am overwhelmed by comments. I've never had a post this popular before, so instead of replying to comments, I'll just add this here. Some of you commented that the timeline didn't make sense. Let me explain. He cheated on me with this girl approximately 6 to 8 months before going on his internship. He never hung out with her before. They had just worked together previously, but other than that, they had no mutual friends besides coworkers. So him promising me that I had nothing to worry about was a lie. He clearly kept in contact with her after he cheated. That's true. I didn't even think about that part. He clearly kept in contact, especially to line it up where she was going to go to that, what was it, internship, and he was going to be there. If I would have known she visited him up there, I would have ended our relationship. Exactly. She moved to a state that is literally across the country. She would have had to book a very expensive flight to even get there. Now for the actual update. After posting this, I couldn't take it anymore. I sent the pictures to myself and took pictures of the timestamps, and then I went in and woke him up. He was super cranky that I couldn't wait until morning, but I didn't care. He acted like I was speaking another language, so I showed him what I found. He then said I was insecure and that the girl in the photo was just a friend that went on the trip with them and not the one he cheated with. I asked him which friend. He couldn't come up with an answer. So then I said, if a friend went with you and this girl just tagged along, why are there only pictures of you and her? Cook him, sis. Okay, let me calm down. He was silent. We love the sound of crickets in moments like this. I then told him about what happened at the wedding. He turned pale white. He then got mad at me for snooping on his laptop. Is it snooping? I had to pause because you went in a file that you probably should have gone in, but at the same time, y'all are married. Bam. I wasn't snooping, but even if I were, that doesn't change the fact that he lied to me for years and kept this secret. I would have never married him if I knew about this. He started throwing a total rage fit. You hear that? Insecure man. What is the problem with people getting mad when you're proved to be a liar instead of just admitting and being like, you know what? You caught me. You're right. What's that called? I can't think of the word. It's gonna bother me that I can't think of the word. But anywho, I've never seen this man act this way before. Started yelling at me, called me jealous and insecure multiple times, and then stormed off to sleep in the guest room, boy. I would take the guest room. I don't want the bed that you sleep in. I stayed up all night. I'm going to sleep. I stayed up all night angry, ugly, crying, and sourcing social media for clues. I found the girl on Facebook, same girl in the camping photos, same girl I met at the wedding. I went through her pictures, and my dang husband liked nearly every photo and post on her page, even the recent one. I then looked at the bride from the wedding, and I sent her a DM. She hasn't read it yet, but I'll update once I get more clarity from her. When was this posted? 2 days ago. I didn't mean to keep this one in my back pocket because what? He's a liar. A narcissist. That's the word I was thinking of. You can't take accountability and you point the finger. Boy, I don't even know what to say like to that. In the next Am I the A-hole or like Reddit story readings, we're gonna go back to that. I'm intrigued, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Oh, this is a short one. Okay, we love short ones. Am I the A-hole for not going to my childhood friend's wedding? I don't know, let's see. I have opinions on weddings. Like if it's a travel wedding, like we have to travel across the country, across the globe, that's a bit iffy for me. Let's see how the story goes. Me, 28 female. Oh, I don't know why I thought this was a me. And V, 28 female, have been friends for 18 years. She moved to another city when she started her studies, but we remained very good friends. Last year, she got engaged. I was very happy for her. I congratulated her and kept asking when the wedding would be. A month ago, she announced that the wedding would be in June. Hey, June. I'm a June baby. Since we were kids, we talked about the big day. Hold on. I just had a revelation. She's gonna be upset because let's say the childhood friend didn't ask her to be the maid of honor. Maybe in the bridal party. Probably not even in the bridal party. So she got upset and she doesn't want to go. That is my thinking of how the story is gonna go. Let's see how we get. We talked about the big day where we would get married, the wedding dress, and the bridesmaids. We promised each hold on, we inching there. The bar is getting closer to me being right. We promised each other that we would be bridesmaids. 7 months ago, I moved to another country and my salary doesn't offer me maybe I was wrong. And my salary doesn't offer me an easy life here. When she announced about the wedding, I had to make a plan. Think about working extra to be able to pay for the plane ticket and all the costs. I noticed that she told me about the wedding. She didn't mention anything about the bridesmaids dresses. The conversation stuck in my head. After a few days, I brought up the topic. I asked her why she didn't mention anything about the bridesmaids. Her answer was, I don't want you to be my bridesmaid anymore because you live in another country. I want their girls to be close to me. I was right. But that's not the thing. I was really upset by her answer, and I even thought that it wasn't worth spending so much money on her wedding. She's expecting a very expensive gift from me. So am I the a-hole? No. That's sad. Childhood promises, yeah, they don't always work out. You grow apart, things happen. But that's not the reason why she doesn't want you to be her bridesmaid. She doesn't want you to be her bridesmaid because you live in another country. Who moved away first? She moved to another city when she started. She moved away first. That is the stupidest. What if I was the bride? Would I feel that same way? I wouldn't know. All the people I know like are online friends and they live like in different countries. So like, I don't know. First off, OP, you're not the a-hole at all. Your feelings are valid because it's a stupid reason not to have you as her bridesmaid. I feel bad for you. Don't go. Don't go to that wedding. Why do I feel like a majority of all the Am I the A-hole stories that I read, they're not the a-hole? Like I want to find why I think the person is the a-hole. Is that wrong? Okay, we're gonna read this one. Am I the a-hole for betraying my mother? Hello Reddit. I'm dealing with a challenging situation and could use your insights. Mind you, a lot of these stories I saved years ago and I'm just not reading it, but hey, stories never go old. Don't judge. Around a month ago, my mom injured her leg. Her doctor recommended a week of rest with a cast. However, she decided to remove the cast herself. Are you okay? You don't do that, girl. Do you want your leg to heal? Thinking the doctor's advice wasn't genuine. She even cleaned the whole house, worsening her pain. What kind of mom do you have? Not like that. What is your race? Because I mean, I have some thoughts in my head. I've been doing my best to assist her by taking on chores like cleaning, doing the dishes, and hailing the laundry. It's essential to note that she's also doing her best despite her pain. Here's the challenge. I had significant pre-board exams coming up, and there's a lot of pressure in my family regarding grades. See, that's the other thing. Are y'all like Indian, Mexican? Because to take off your own cast and the grades, yeah, anything below 90% is considered subpar. But I'm the one who faces this pressure. I attended one of the top schools in my state, which is financially burdensome for my family. They make considerable sacrifices to provide for me and my sister, and I feel guilty for not performing well academically. The issue is that my family makes it challenging for me to study. They often distract me by insisting I attend family events, playing the TV loudly, and not addressing my sister's loud singing right next to me. Yeah, that's the problem. They also tend to argue right outside my room, making it extremely difficult to concentrate. Finding a quiet place to study is becoming increasingly difficult. This morning, my mom asked me to clean the house as soon as I woke up. I wanted to finish quickly to get back to my studies, but she was upset when when I was done. She accused me of What? She accused me of betrayal and called me a backstabber because I didn't clean the house to her satisfaction. She even made hurtful comments about my family's background for not cleaning the house to her standards. This is why I asked, what is your race? I'm feeling overwhelmed and confused. This is the betrayal you talk about, because I'm like, the story about to end and you didn't say nothing about like you fussed at her. I know you did not come to Reddit asking if you the a-hole for betraying your mother because you didn't clean the house to her standards. This is the story? Girl, I'm feeling overwhelmed and confused. I want to excel in my exams, and my mom's injuries and coupled with the consistent distractions at home is making it exceptionally challenging. I don't think I pronounced that word right. The pressure is immense as my ability to take my board exam depends on my performance in this pre-boards. Wait, where are you going to school for? Anywho, not like that matters. I'm also worried about the consequences if I get a lower grade. I'll face criticism and they'll take away my phone. You just can't win. They tell our relatives that I never study and only sit with my books open so that people think that I study. Now my mom won't talk to me. Am I the a-hole? Are you for real right now? You did not come to the internet for this. First off, no, you're not the a-hole. Why are you asking me that, girl? Oh God, I don't think you said your gender. You need to move out. I mean, like, that's such an easy thing to do. The comments, really comments. Not the a-hole. Also, now my mom won't talk to me. Well, then now it's the time to study. Not the a-hole, not cleaning the house, as well as someone would prefer has all to do with betrayal. That's a long one. You just say your age, but it seems like you can't leave the house. You don't have to move out, but go to the library. Wear some noise canceling headphones. I mean, this was 2 years ago. You're probably not even in school. The fact that you had to come to the internet or something like, I don't want to say non-serious, but just like something like this, it shows a lot how you're being treated in that house. This was 2 years ago, so I hope you move out. I hope you found something better. I hope you passed your grades. Did it say if it was in high school or like college or something? I attend one of the top schools in my state, which is financially burdensome for my family. I would imagine you're probably in high school, but you said like board. I don't know, board exams. Is that college? Hopefully you got out of this situation, because this has been 2 years, so I'm praying for you, friend. You betrayed your mom because you didn't clean. That is sad. These stories are sad. You're gonna make me cry. I'm joking. Anywho. Oh, did I say already? Gavel to the thing. Not the a-hole. All these stories, none of the people have been a-holes. I want to make sure I do a double take on that other story because I'm very so much interested in what happened. What did you do to your boyfriend? Husband. They said they've been married for like a month or something. It's gonna be a long marriage, my friend. Anywho, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed these stories. Make sure you like, comment your thoughts on the stories. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoy me, my content, what I have to bring, my vibes, my everything. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.